Hello to all CineMaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The events of the movie begin with a cursed chant called the Chant of Death. This is a magical chant used to summon the dragon. Each season, they select 3 girls to offer as a sacrifice to the dragon, so it won't attack their village and kill everyone. Let me share a part of it with you. They're all dressed in white dresses, like they're wrapped in shrouds. Suddenly, they hear a very loud sound. The dragon appears, snatches one of the girls, and flies away with her, its terrifying claws gripping her. But the girl's lover vows to rescue her. He searches tirelessly for the dragon's lair, but he's too late. The dragon has already burned her. The man is devastated by the loss of his beloved, and his grief consumes him. He strikes the dragon with a spear and succeeds in killing it, freeing the people from its evil. Since that day, he's been called the Dragon Slayer. The dragon's magical rituals transformed into a wedding tradition. On an ominous day, it happens to be the wedding day of Igor, the grandson of the Dragon Slayer, to Princess Mira, the king's daughter. We move to the palace's preparation room, where Mira's sister is brushing her hair, but they start arguing. Mira's sister tells her that Igor doesn't love her, that his only interest is the inheritance and becoming a prince just like her. But Mira dismisses her sister's advice, saying, "You're just upset because you're an old maid and I'm getting married before you." The king enters, scolding Mira. He says, "Grow up a little, this is your wedding day." The bride is carried, as is tradition, on a wooden bed, and flowers are thrown over her amid cheers. Everyone is happy, and her father, the king, delivers a speech about his daughter's marriage. He hands the rope to the groom, Igor, to complete the rest of the wedding rituals. They begin pulling it as they sing the chant to summon the dragon, feeling completely secure because the dragon is dead. But in a shocking moment for everyone, a new gust of wind blows through, and with it comes the dragon, who swoops down on Mira. Igor tries to save her, but to no avail. The dragon takes her and flies far away into the sky. That was the last thing she remembered before waking up, finding herself injured on her side. But she realizes she's lucky when she remembers falling into a pit between the rocks, which prevented the dragon from burning her. She looks up and finds a piece of her clothing hanging. She tries to grab it to climb out, but a bat-like creature appears, startling her, and she falls. She grabs a rock to scare it away, but she hears a mysterious voice behind her saying, "Don't look into its eyes. Drop the rock, and it will leave you alone." Indeed, the creature leaves, throwing a live fish at her. It turns out they're on a remote island in the middle of the sea. She gets up and starts calling out to the voice, "Who are you? Get me out of here." She says, "Get me out of here, and my father the king will reward you greatly." But the voice replies, "I can't do anything for you. I'm a prisoner, just like you, because we can't escape the dragon." The voice then leaves, and Mira collapses, banging on the wall, hoping someone will respond, but the voice doesn't answer. She cries until she loses consciousness. She wakes up to the sound of the boy with the mysterious voice, who gives her ointment. She takes it and manages to see his eyes through a small opening. She says, "You don't look like a prisoner. You look too clean. Anyway, thank you," she says. "It looks like we'll be stuck here together for a long time. We should get to know each other. My name is Mira. What's yours?" He replies, "I don't remember my name." She says, "We need to get out of here." He tells her, "Wait for your fiancé, the Dragon Slayer." She asks, "How do you know about him?" She gets very upset when he doesn't answer. She decides to block the open stone space and tells him, "You're just a coward." She looks at the place she fell from and decides to cut her hair to use it as a rope. She hears the voice again, asking her to give him a name. She names him Armand. She reaches out to shake his hand as a gesture of friendship, but as soon as she touches his hand, his body temperature rises, and he starts showing signs of transformation. She hears a voice mixed with intense anger telling him, "Don't leave the pit." Suddenly, the dragon appears and tries to enter the pit but can't. When the dragon leaves, she calls out for Armand, thinking the dragon burned him, but she hears nothing. She breaks the opening where Armand was and steps out to look for him. To her surprise, the dragon sees her. Luckily, she manages to escape and climb out of the pit. She finds herself standing on the remains of a massive whale's tooth in the middle of the ocean. Armand appears behind her and commands the small bat-like creature to back off. It listens to him. But Mira says to him angrily, "Who exactly are you? I was wrong to trust you." She slips off the whale's tooth. Armand jumps after her and starts transforming into a dragon. He deflects all the hits and loses consciousness. Mira wakes up to find a dragon next to her, unable to move. She calls for help, but it's no use. She checks on him again and realizes it's Armand. She confirms he's actually the dragon. She grabs a rock to hit him but can't bring herself to do it. She lets the seawater drag him away and leaves, but her conscience bothers her. She goes back to pull him out of the water with the help of the monkey-like creature. Before she sleeps, she ties him up, thinking he won't be able to move. But the dragon's inner power awakens, and he lights up all over before falling asleep again. Naturally, Mira is terrified and goes looking for someone to save her. But she notices a lot of wood around. She searches through it until she finds a small boat, hides it, and waits for the rain to stop. She notices Armand's wounds and gathers the herbs he had previously given her. His body glows again, but when she places her hand on him, she sings to calm him down. At the end of the day, she falls asleep next to him to keep warm. She dreams that her fiancé, Igor, came to rescue her, But to her surprise, it was Armand who appeared in front of her. She wakes up and finds a piece of fruit, which she eats, realizing it was Armand who brought it. She sees him fishing but notices he doesn't want to talk to her. She kicks the bucket of fish he caught with her foot. He asks, "What do you want?" She says, "Take me home." He replies, "It's not that simple." He begins to tell her his story. "When I was young, my father was a dragon. I dreamed of being like him, but I found a chest in the sea filled with toys. My father took it from me, and I was very upset. I wanted to be an ordinary child, not like him, until I saw a ship with a man who stabbed my father in the back. I decided to take revenge and transformed into a dragon bigger and stronger than him. But all the memories of my ancestors passed down to me. I saw many people dying because the dragon burned them and crushed their bones. I realized my father was a monster. I decided I wanted to be an ordinary human, but I couldn't. On the island, there's a narrow passage. When I feel I'm about to transform, I hide there until I turn back into a human. On the fateful day of my wedding, I was trying to get into the passage but couldn't. I found myself holding you in my claws. I threw you into a narrow pit. The pit wasn't your prison. It was your refuge from me. I told you not to touch me because I didn't want to hurt you. That's why I can't take you home. Wait for your fiancé to come rescue you." He added, "You're now standing on the remains of my great-grandfather's bones, and this is the curse. If your fiancé truly loves you, he'll find the way on his own and come to rescue you." And he breaks the curse. She told him, "He loves me. My fiancé will find these flowers. He'll know I'm thinking of him and will come to save me." She told him that in return for taking care of her, she would help him live like humans. They began gathering old wood, repairing it, and washing the linens to live a decent life. He also taught her how to feel the wind and sense it. After finishing, she went to the place she fixed up and found the monkey searching through her belongings. She had prepared herself for the day she would need to reveal her secrets, but she hid them from Armand, who had started to love her. At the end of the day, he told her, "I have a surprise for you," and took her to show her the fireworks in the sky, which he called celestial blooms. After some time, they went to sleep, but she felt something on her cheek. She woke up and couldn't find Armand. She went out searching for him, but unfortunately, it had been years, and she couldn't control him, and he burned her. Mira woke up from her sleep. It was honestly a disturbing and scary dream. She found Armand in front of her and was very startled by him. She told him about her dream. She said, "I'm very afraid of the dragon." Armand reassured her, saying, "I would never let the dragon harm you. Trust me." He left her to continue sleeping and went to play the musical instrument he found among the wood on the island. They continued sleeping, and the next day, she woke up and went swimming in the picturesque scene overlooking the remains of the largest dragon's bones. But it was a painting made of its beautiful rocks. Armand was puzzled about what kind of flowers to present to her, but the flowers turned to ash because the dragon inside had awakened and began to show signs of transformation. However, he hid when he saw Mira coming to play with her kite, wanting to teach her. When his body calmed down, he held the kite without touching it and taught her how to fly it, saying that she needed to feel the wind, and then the kite would fly, and then the kite would fly. But in a moment of happiness, Mira touched his finger and he began to show signs of transformation. The kite's string broke, and he fled to hide quickly because he was afraid for her. He used the musical instrument because it calmed him, and indeed, he calmed down, and his body temperature returned to normal. But unfortunately, he glanced to the side and found the things Mira had hidden, including the map and the boat sail. Mira was searching for Armand, and when she found him before she could say his name, he said, "Do you know what dragons do to brides? They burn them alive until they turn to ash, and a new dragon appears because we are creatures made of fire ash. The same thing that happened to them will happen to you, Mira." She asked him, "Why are you saying this?" He replied, "I know everything about the boat. You made me teach you how to see the wind so you could go to your country. I taught you to live like humans so you could search through the boxes and take the map. You were deceiving me all along for your own benefit. But it's okay. Tomorrow, take your boat and go to your family. I don't want you." He threw the musical instrument to the ground and entered the narrow passage as signs of transformation appeared on him. Everything failed to make him human again. Indeed, Mira took the boat, prepared it, set the sail, and began moving with the wind. We then moved to Igor, who was aboard his ship with a group of knights and his great-grandfather's assistant, who was guiding him. But Igor got bored of the journey and told them, "Let's go back." However, his father's assistant told him, "Go to sleep. I'll find the way myself. You are useless anyway." Igor got very angry, put a weapon to his assistant's neck and said, "We're going back now because there's no sign of her." But they were surprised by fireworks in the sky. They thought it was a dragon, but from afar, they noticed it was Mira. Mira remembered the curse and confirmed that Igor didn't love her. They wanted to go to kill the dragon, but Mira told them it was dead and went home without telling anyone she had found them. Igor couldn't reach her, but her sister hugged her and said, "If he reached the island, then he loves you." But Mira knew he didn't love her, and kept remembering her moments with the dragon. The wedding rituals continued and Igor took the rope and began pulling her, but without any singing. Suddenly Mira stood up and told him, "I don't love you, and you don't love me. You're greedy for the inheritance and couldn't reach me on the island." She took the rope and threw it into the water, then began singing a chant to summon the dragon. At that moment, Armand wanted to end his life and held his musical instrument to play it. But before his body touched the ground, he heard Mira's voice singing the chant. After she finished her chant, she felt a strong breeze, and the dragon came to take her. Her father and sister realized she loved the dragon, so they did nothing. Igor wanted to throw his spear to kill the dragon, but his great-grandfather's assistant took the spear from him and struck him. The dragon took Mira and began living with her in the dragon's kingdom. Mira gave birth to a small child, and Armand told her everything about the dragons. In the end, the young man returned to his true form, and they lived a happy life together. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.